Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the real estate crisis that is supposed to be happening in 2021 that we all hear about on the news. We hear about it on YouTube. We hear about it everywhere. I've been invested in real estate for the last 25 years. I invested in real estate in the late 90s. I invested in real estate in the early 2000s. I invested in real estate during the 2008 recession. And I've invested in real estate after the 2008 recession. And of all those instances where I invested in real estate, it was always a good time to buy real estate. See, real estate investing is about the numbers. If the numbers work, you buy the property. I don't care if it's in good times or if it's in bad times. So when we think about what has happened in 2020 with the pandemic, a lot of folks are saying, you know, the pandemic has put people out of work. A lot of those people haven't went back to work. They're not going to be able to pay their rent. And I agree. A lot of people have been put out of work. But let's look at what the statistics tell us, what is happening with, apartment complexes being able to collect their rent. So if we look at November 2020 collection rates, 96% of these large apartment complexes collected their rents. 96%, which is only about 1% below where it was November 2019. So this myth that people are not paying their rent is exaggerated in the media, guys. So don't let that deter you from buying real estate. Now, I will tell you, there are different sectors of real estate that have been hit harder than others during this 2020 pandemic. Retail malls have been hit real hard, right? And a lot of these retail malls are not going to survive. They're going to have to be repurposed. And a lot of them are going to become Amazon distribution centers. Office complexes is another real estate sector that's been hit hard as well. Because why? People are working from home. You have Zoom, Skype. Companies are comfortable now with their employees working from home, and why spend millions and millions and millions of dollars paying for office space when you don't have to? Multi-family apartment complexes and 1 to 4 family dwellings are not going to suffer in 2021. Matter of fact, I believe they're going to thrive. Couple of things I want you guys to think about though, when you're looking to buy 1 to 4 family or small apartment buildings. First thing you should be looking for is the right location. See, in my opinion, location is the most important aspect of buying residential 1 to 4 family dwellings and small apartment buildings. It's all about the location, right? Why? Because the location is what drives your rental rate. If you're in a very good location that people have a desire to live in, there are good amenities in that location where people can get out and have recreation, they're going to be more willing to pay more rent. Because of that, because of the desire to live in that location. So that's the number one thing. You gotta find the right location when looking at these 1 to 4 family dwellings and when looking at small apartment buildings. The second thing you got to look at is the property numbers, the cash flow analysis. Does it make sense as an investment? And if I can't get a 10% cash on cash return on the money that I put in the deal, is that the best way to use that money? And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say I wanted to buy a $300,000 duplex. And in order to buy that $300,000 duplex, I'm going to have to come up with 20% down. So I'm going to put 20% down, which is $60,000. And then I'm going to go to a bank and they're going to lend me $240,000. So 60 grand is what I actually have in the deal. The way I look at my 60 grand is if I can't get at least a 10% return on that 60 grand, then I really have to question why I'm buying that piece of real estate. So once I get my gross rents and I take out my expenses and I take out my mortgage expense, I need to have $6,000 left over. So that represents a 10% return on my $60,000 I have in the deal. If the numbers don't work, guys, at least a 10% return, I'm not buying the property, right? Because I can take my 60K and I can put it in the financial markets and get an 8 to 12% return on my money without having to worry about tenants and toilets, right? So let's not get hung up on the sexiness of I'm a real estate investor. Forget all of that. If real estate is not going to make you money, then don't buy it, right? So that's number 2, cash flow. The third thing you got to think about when you're buying real estate is, how is this real estate going to increase my net worth? If I buy a property for $300,000, guys, the goal for me is to make sure I can get at least a 4% capital appreciation per year on that piece of property, right? So if I buy the property for 300 grand, then I need to make sure I'm making at least $12,000 a year in capital appreciation. I do that for 5 years. At minimum, I should be making at least $60,000 in capital appreciation. So my property should go from 300K to 360K within 5 years, plus I get my 10% cash on cash return. If those numbers don't make sense, then I don't buy the property. Simple as that. I prefer to take my money, like I said, put it in the stock market and get an 8 to 12% return and not have to worry about tenant and toilets. That's the way you guys got to think about real estate. We can't get caught up in buying real estate or, caught up in the sexiness of being a real estate investor. But the financial numbers don't work, right? Can't do it. So those are the 3 things I think you got to look at before you buy a piece of real estate. And you can buy real estate in good and bad times, guys. Don't listen to these people in the media or on YouTube who say, oh, stay away. Prices are going to drop by 20%, 30%. Guys, that's not going to happen. The reason it's not going to happen is because as long as interest rates are low, real estate prices are going to stay with it, right? And continue to increase. Also, think about it. People who were thinking about selling their rental properties. In the beginning, when the pandemic hit, there was a lot of fear, especially when the CARES Act came out and they had a temporary pause on evictions. A lot of people thought that would scare a lot of investors and they would start unloading their properties with the fear of people not having to pay their rent. That didn't happen. But the main point of the video is I want you guys to go out and look for good real estate deals. They're out there. They're not going to fall out the sky and hit you on top of the head. You're going to have to get out and do some work. Go find you a good real estate agent who understands the type of real estate you want to buy in the market you want to buy it in. And that person will assist you and help you put together some opportunities that you can take a look at. Then you just got to make sure it's in the right location. You got to make sure the cash flow works, and you got to make sure it has a good opportunity to have capital appreciation, because that's where you're going to build your wealth, is through the capital appreciation, right? If you do all of those things, you're going to be fine. Don't sit on the sideline and wait, though. Don't sit on the sideline and wait. You're going to miss a lot of good deals, right? If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel, share the video, and smash that like button. Thoughts become things. You can see it in your mind. You can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. And I'm going to catch you on the next video. Peace. Today's video is sponsored by my company, RF Financial Consulting. And in my company, I work with individuals just like you through financial mentoring and coaching sessions. And in those 1-hour sessions, we talk about strategies to help you get to your financial freedom, whether it be through real estate investing, stock market investing, creating additional streams of income, credit card arbitrage, or starting and growing a business. If that's something that you might be interested in, there's an email address in the description box of the video. Send me an email and let's discuss if I'm the right fit for you.